It's that time again. It's the podcast that takes your personal and professional life to a whole new level. Whether you're selling a product, selling a service, or selling yourself, one thing is for sure. You're always selling for life. Hello, everyone. Everybody say hello.
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 Good day, mate.
Welcome to the Selling for Life podcast. I am Steve. I am joined by the owners of ConEquip Parts, Ryan, Al, and Ben, and we're here for one reason and one reason only. We haven't figured out what that reason is just yet.
We'll get back to you on that.
When we do.
We have a goal, though, by week 4.
Yes, we will have a goal by week 4. Actually, the overview of this show, Al, why don't you share it there? It's right on your sheet. Tell everybody who ends up listening to this podcast what we really are all about.
Thank you, Steve. We're going to introduce ourselves, and let you know about how we've became who we are and give our employees convenient access to information, resources, things of that nature that help enrich their work experience and hopefully can enrich others' work experiences.
And those who won't who are not employed by ConEquip Parts, maybe in your own personal life or professional life, get some tips, some ideas, some encouragement. As far as getting to know everybody, let's get started with Ryan. Ryan, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Ryan. I'm the CFO, one of the partners at ConEquip. Basically, I handle the money and the operations at ConEquip, and married, 5 kids. I like Steve's mom on the side. Yeah.
Insert sound effect here. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just take a step back and let some of our listeners know that don't know us. This is not going to be your normal podcast. All right. This is a PC-free zone, and if you're easily offended, I would hit stop right now.
Hit stop right now.
Just stop.
Unsubscribe.
Okay, let's move on to Ben now. Ben is co-owner. No, Al's going to go last. He's the anchor.
Oh, I agree.
Okay, so Ben, a little introduction to about yourself, please.
My name is Ben, and I am the sales manager at ConEquip Parts. I help in the training of the sales guys and ladies. It's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity to meet people, see where they're at, see their skills and techniques that they have, see some of the goals that they have in life, too, that I feel like I'm a part of helping them get there. So that's awesome. Personal life, married, 10.3 and a half kids right now. My wife is due with number 11 in January.
Insert sound effect here. Sorry, go on.
And we have my son Jeremiah. He's the oldest. He is 16. We had him first, and then we had 9 girls in a row after him. How does that happen?
Genetics.
That's because God has a sense of humor. He's like, oh, Ben, you think you're one bad player in high school. You got no idea. So my wife, stay-at-home mom, she loves doing laundry and dishes. Insert sound effect.
Is that dishes breaking?
Who knows? And that's about it.
Alexander.
Hola, senoritas and senoras.
Oh, nice.
Well, that sounds good.
Do you want me to hold that for you, buddy?
Deep low voice.
You want me to hold that?
I'm Al, your pal. Kind of my catchphrase there. From the B-Low, born to an awesome Italian mom, mixed with a little bit of guilt at home and pasta, and some crazy work ethic and drive. But I do marketing and vision casting and some sales stuff like training and whatnot at ConEquip. I have a wife, several children. One even works at ConEquip. I love Jesus.
Amen.
Oh, yeah. The history of ConEquip. I'd like to go there next. The history of ConEquip, and this is one of the big reasons why I always want to do this podcast. And I think as you hear the story of ConEquip and the progression, the progress they've made and the things that they've done and the things they've overcome, I think you'll understand why this is a podcast you'd want to listen to. I was thinking about it actually this morning. I told Al kiddingly that I never really thought of him as a success until this morning, before the day of the podcast. He's just Al. But then I thought about this morning. I thought to myself, when I first started here 5 years ago, I was their 3rd, 4th sales guy. we were, and they'll get into this more in a little bit, but we would go on break for 3 hours and come back and realize we missed 12 phone calls. We'd be like, wow, we missed 12 calls. If we leave the room for 2 minutes, we missed twice that much. So the company has come a long way. Amazing things that they have done. And again, this is a reason. This is probably one of the biggest reasons you want to listen to this podcast, because if you've got a business, if you've got anything that requires setting goals and being focused and having ambition, there's no doubt in my mind this podcast will help you along the way. So with that, I'd like to go on to that story of ConEquip. Al?
Thanks, Steve. I'll start. Well, yeah, at ConEquip, we started almost 10 years ago, working in the construction parts industry. Ben over there, he worked in the construction equipment sales industry. And, we knew each other from church and, like his wife, my wife. And I said, hey, why don't we check out doing our own thing? You know about equipment. I know about some parts. And we both know about sales.
We could sell.
We figured we start a website, teach ourselves or learn how to do website marketing.
Yes.
And we did that. And it all actually worked. Once we turned it on, we made money the first week.
It was crazy.
Holy crap.
How does that work?
Why would I work for anybody else? I didn't. So I stopped and we just did our own thing.
Own thing.
And the coolest part is God kept on providing, kept on growing, and boom, boom, boom. And that's how it all began.
Yep. So then we started with that and it didn't get us anywhere.
But we sold some pots.
We sold some parts, and we learned the network even better.
Yeah.
We started honing in on some particular products that are kind of a high demand in the industry. So we sold more of those and just got further behind because we were kind of afraid to hire somebody.
What were we behind in?
You ever get those phone calls, and it's a great customer you sold, had good rapport with, and they're like, hey, I know you guys are busy, but I didn't hear back about my tracking number yet. It's like, oh, let me look it up. Yep. Sometimes you forget to actually do the purchase order and follow up as you said you would.
That's more than sales.
That's
service.
That is it.
Okay. So then what do we do?
So then Al and I cried together, started getting a little stressed.
Hold on, let me put some appropriate music in here. Got a violin going. Okay, go ahead.
So then we realized, man, we were selling like hotcakes, but man, we just weren't good at managing the money and managing the service side of things. And then we heard a guy on the radio, he had this cool NPR voice, and then he seemed smart. He was talking about financial stuff and business help, and we figured we'd call him up, and boom,
Bam.
That was Ryan Luce.
Drop the mic.
Hey there.
That was a couple years in, and wouldn't you know, he said, once we brought him our spreadsheets, he said, yeah, I'll help you out. And we were like, sweet, we can't afford nothing, but can you do it for cheap? And he said, yeah. And so
Cheap. It was free the first year.
Oh, that's right. He charitably
He makes sure
It was.
he's listening.
he charitably mentored us for a long time.
He perked right up.
I was wondering, did he not send the bill? Ben,
I
did you
had
get the
no
bill?
idea. If
I saw the books. If I sent the bill, I knew you couldn't pay it. So
Yep.
So there's a Ryan. Ryan mixed it up, helped us out for several years now. A few years, and Ben kept on asking at almost every meeting, hey, when are you going to come full-time into ConEquip? When are you going to come? It was really annoying. He said it the same way each time, same tone. Ryan eventually threw coffee, and then...
What?
He threw coffee at us. He spit coffee at us.
Yeah, it was really awkward.
Get out of my office, you people.
No.
And then he agreed eventually. And throughout that time, though, he was forcing us to do uncomfortable things like hire people and manage people and improve our processes and read books. Once that happened, we grew and grew, and then Ryan kept on helping us out, and he took Ben's offer.
Yeah. So I think
Came on
some
full-time.
of the best words Ryan gave was, wow, man, this looks really good. How come you guys can't duplicate this?
Right, he did say that.
Yeah. It was like, oh, can't you hire somebody to reproduce yourself? Well, it'd probably take two people to reproduce one of us.
And funny
Not
because
to
Ben, you know
hang
all
the hat
about
on.
that.
I was like, yeah, I just,
Ben is good at reproduction.
just get it done.
He's got like 10.3 kids.
Yeah.
That's the joke.
Well, let me jump in here because it was right around that time that Ben called me and said, "Hey, man, do you want a job?" I'm in New York City at the time, working in television, and I thought I had a pretty cool career. And then I decided I needed to get out of there, and through prayer and a whole other story that maybe I'll go into one day, I ended up in Buffalo, New York, working for ConEquip. And I was one of those employees that they hired, I guess, after Ryan said they needed to hire more employees.
Mm-hmm.
And soon after that, I met Ryan, and we do have a website, sellingforlife.com. I'm going to put on that website the video, because I'm pretty sure I can find it, of the day that Ryan was introduced as a new partner. And
That was a special day.
if you haven't seen a grown man cry before, you want to watch this video, because he was just...
I'm a crier. It's okay.
It's all right.
It's okay.
I'll tell you what, I got some tears in my eyes, that particular day. But, so I came on board, and I kind of want to transition from there into another big reason of why you should listen to this podcast. Ryan, tell them about what we were doing per month there at ConEquip back in 2013.
Yeah, when Steve came on board, we had Al and Ben, a receptionist who did a lot of different things. Joyce was there.
Mm-hmm.
And just, Steve, you were our second sales hire or first sales or third, somewhere in there. Between
Doug was there, and
we were doing about 120,000 gross a month when Steve came on board, and that was 2013. So fast forward today to 2018, and we're posting just over $2 million a month now in gross sales.
insert sound effect here. So,
For real?
so for real, that's
wanna know more?
that's for real. So if you're listening to this podcast, and listen, life is not all about money. Your business success is not all about money. But with that said, I think any business owner would be excited about having even half that amount of success financially. So I came on as a sales guy and had some sales experience, not a lot. And we're going to transition now into our topic of the day. Al worked with me a lot, try to get me to sell. There were a couple days where I think he wanted to throw me out the second story window, but didn't. Thank you, Al, for not killing me.
You're welcome.
What a guy.
The topic of today is can I make it as a sales professional / can I make it as a business owner? Al, what type of things do you have to consider before you make a leap into sales or a business?
Well, most of the time you have to do some internal soul searching. You're capable of sales if you have a belief system, certain belief system gives you, that launching off point. Like in your case, I can speak as a case study, Steve. You came to us from a high pressure world of video and production and media, right? Pretty
Lot of pressure.
high-end business, a lot of pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Did that necessarily give you all the tools to come in and jump into sales?
Absolutely not.
I think, Steve, if you remember, like my biggest advice to you was like you thought you were doing something to people. Sales is doing things for people.
I think a lot of people think that a salesperson is in movies and, comedy routines or whatever. The sales guy is always the one that's trying to get things over on people. And a lot of sales guys do. The scam artists out there, a lot of people are selling and they're trying to get people to buy things they shouldn't. And so, I guess in a way, I just assumed that was all sales across the board. And to try to get somebody to buy something was to somehow fool them into it or manipulate them. Okay, so we're going to be getting into a lot of that much more over the next number of weeks. But right now, I really want to go on to our next segment, which is for our employees. Al, hope you gave it some thought. Do you have anything you'd like to tell the employees that listen to our podcast, maybe that they can bring up in the next meeting for extra credit?
Well, here we go. I basically wanted to let everyone know, and the topic at hand really is just the play off of how can you make it as a sales professional, was just that belief. If we actually come into work every day or face any kind of task or anything that we want to accomplish, I think we got to start with owning it. As I'm going to show up every day to work, and I'm going to obviously act like I own the place. A certain responsibility that in any situation you get to have that kind of choice. You can act treat the situation that you're in, treat people around you like you are responsible for yourself and your results, and maybe even responsible for them. Because when I was growing up, my grandmother did this to me. I was a real shy kid, and my grandmother seen this and like, man, I gotta, getting this boy out of his shell. Well, she would always kind of in any party situation or any crowd situation, she would make me help and be kind of like very servant, kind of serving others around me. It worked. I stopped being so shy, and what did I do? Man, I just kind of started taking responsibility. So every time I go to a party, so invite me to parties, I'll be cleaning up, putting stuff away, seeing if I can help, jumping in. Take ownership of what you got. It doesn't matter how small, how big. It doesn't matter if your goals are grand. Just every day you walk through life, sit in it like you own it.
Guess what? This is the end of our first ever podcast together. Hey, if you want to see the video of this podcast, go to sellingforlife.com. We'll have some pictures up there. We'll have some material up there now and then. Check in. Love to hear from you. If you want to maybe connect with us, get on our Facebook page at just look for ConEquip Parts on Facebook. You'll find us there. Maybe say, hey, I listened to your podcast. So that is it. The music is playing. That means it's time for us to go. We don't have a tagline. I was thinking maybe we can all try to see if we can come up with one real quick on the top of our heads. Ryan, what's your tagline?
Steve's mom ain't no hoe.
I think Steve's going to edit that out. But hopefully not.
And Al, what is your tagline off the top of your head?
Parts of your heart.
And Ben, what's your tagline?
That was amazing.
That was not a computer-generated sound effect.
Nope, that was real, folks. That was real.
Ben!
Welcome to ConEquip, guys.
Hey, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time on the Selling for Life podcast.